Hey you all, welcome to Pearls of Eden. Today I want to continue to shine a light on a brave young lady named Allie Carter. She's beautiful inside out, but she's been through a lot. And many people don't know her story. Her story is one of triumph, but it is one that she has been through so many horrific things. But she is bold and full of the Spirit of God. And she's here for a time such as this to bring awareness to human sex trafficking and the evil horrors of it. I want to shine a light on who she is because so many people, believe it or not, they don't know who Allie Carter is. They don't know her story. In my comments, I get often, who is she? Where did she come from? Well, I'm going to continue to share your story, Allie, because you deserve it. People need to hear your voice. And with your voice, I pray that many are set free. Please take the time to listen to her story.
Trust me. I'm saying I'm just trying to help y'all understand. You stay with me? I'm trying to help you understand. Repeat that. Because I'm not saying this is what happened. If there's a round of kids, it's the trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person. So they can take a remote and turn that person off. Britney Spears, when they want to. Lindsay Lohan, when they want to. Amanda Bynes, when they want to, okay?
I know for many of you, this is deep waters. A lot of this is information that you're like, what is she talking about? I just want you, as she says, bookmark it, register it in your Rolodex, because these things, as more exposures come up, and as you learn about her story and so many other stories like hers, as you investigate this more, you're going to have understanding by and by. But just pray about it and ask the Lord to give you the understanding to receive what it is that she is speaking, and also how can you be a part of helping. God can show you the ways he wants you to use your voice to bring awareness, but just pray about all things, because you want to do things with wisdom. We have to be wise in these streets, and God will help navigate us in deep waters. But the most important thing right now is bringing awareness, because there's so many people who are asleep to these things. But the great awakening is happening to bring restoration and to bring redemption.
So let's say there's a contract for Justin Bieber. When P. Diddy has a hold of Justin Bieber, he now owns half of those codes. If Usher had the same contract and trafficked Bieber out to P. Diddy, okay, Usher and P. Diddy now have parts of Justin Bieber's contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if one goes down, the other side of the code has to go down. If there's a property linked to that person, Kevin Hart, because they had something to do with the trafficking of Bieber, then their property will go down, because there's a code to that property. There's a code to everything. Your social security number is like a code. Okay? But depending on the level of MK Ultra, people have auctions for the codes on that person, so they can use a remote to them like a TV and shut them down, turn it up, use somebody else, change it whenever they feel like it. Bookmark it. Trust me. Trust me, bookmark it. Okay? I know it's probably not gonna make sense right now, but bookmark it.
For those of you who are not aware what MK Ultra is, I want to give you a brief history of the definition and where it started. Project MK Ultra is a human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used during interrogations to weaken individuals and force confessions through brainwashing and psychological torture. The term MK Ultra is a CIA cryptonym. MK is an arbitrary prefix standing for the Office of Technical Service, and Ultra is an arbitrary word out of a dictionary to denominate this project. So as you see, it's a real thing. You can Google this. Project MK Ultra began in 1953 and supposedly was halted in 1973. MK Ultra used numerous methods to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions, such as the covert administration of high doses of psychiatric drugs, especially LSD, and other chemicals without the subject's consent. Additionally, other methods beyond chemical compounds were used, including electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. You can go and continue to read up on this because it's available for you, for those of you who want understanding. But this is a real thing. And it goes deep, far, and wide, okay? This is why you need the Holy Spirit to guide you as you're learning of these things so that He can navigate you through deep waters. But I wanted to give you a brief understanding of what it is so you understand what she's saying when she says MK Ultra, and what that encompasses. Let's keep listening.
MK Ultra is used, but to get MK Ultra to take hold the way it needs to be, it has to involve satanic ritual abuse, extreme trauma, humiliation, just evil on a level you can't imagine. I don't care what you all think about Trump. I'm not sure what I think about Trump, but he is telling you the truth on a lot of things. You guys just don't understand what he's saying. When he's saying they're eating the cats and dogs, he's preparing your hearts and your minds for the fact that satanic ritual abuse is about to come into the light in a big way. Voodoo is about to come into the light in a big way. Cannibalism is about to come in the light in a big way.
These are simply facts. And I've been sharing this with you all for some time. So this is nothing new for my subscribers. This is just only confirmation, correct? So I just think that we just have to be aware of what's happening in this end times. The battle is fierce. But like she said, Trump is just bringing awareness. He's laying a foundation. He's draining the swamp, right? This is when he came out and he exposed what? Fake news for what it was. They said he was full of you know what, but was he? He was highlighting what many were asleep to. But for those of us who were walking with Yah and we had discernment, nothing Trump was saying was outlandish. We knew exactly, and for many it was a sign like this man is with the understanding. He has understanding. He's discerning. And people have to wake up. But the waking up process, it is a process, you all. And I hope that I am enlightening many of you to see what's been in your sight, in plain sight, for so long. But it is just time that you awaken. Welcome to the awakening. Hallelujah. Trump said he was going to drain the swamp. And this is what they're terrified of. But once God puts the wheels in motion, there's nothing that can stop it. This is the era of truth and righteousness. Will you be a part of it? I hope so.
All of those things link to MK Ultra. And it all links to trafficking. Once you have MK Ultra in place, and once you've used satanic ritual abuse to link into the MK Ultra and to program somebody, program the children, so you can use them as sex slaves or Delta assassins or whatever it is you want them to do.
All right, let's stop right there, because There's another level of MK Ultra that many people overlook. It's called social media. It's called all of your favorite TikToks, Facebook, Instagram. There's a level of addiction to the scroll, right? There's a endorphin that's released in your mind every time you scroll, okay? This is the importance of being aware. I'm going to share this article with you. We have to be careful, because if we're not spending time with our children, if we're not pouring into them, social media is, there's so many voices that's trying to connect with your child, that's trying to connect with you. Talk about scary movie. Talk about Halloween. You all are over here dressing up for Halloween and participating in the Devil's Day. Well, all of these people just show up as who they really want to be. When they put on those costumes, it's who they really want to be, right? Anyways, I digress. It says Facebook takes next steps into mind control with acquisition CTRL Labs. Back in the 60s, the CIA ran a covert program called MK Ultra, which was tasked with running human experiments for the purposes of developing drugs and procedures that would weaken the individual and force confessions through mind control. It sounds like the stuff of science fiction, which is incidentally has become, but this research actually took place and had lasting impacts for various participants. Among those experiments was one which involved brain implants. Listen carefully. With dogs repeatedly made to run and stop without verbal or physical commands. Sounds a lot like what Allie and her mother Sherry was speaking about. Purely through these implants connected into their brains. That's pretty freaky, right? That's what this latest Facebook news made me think of, with the potential implications of this area of investigation seemingly veering into very questionable, very concerning territory. According to reports, Facebook has acquired a startup called CTRL Labs, a company which is working on software that would enable people to control a digital avatar using only their thoughts. This is crazy, right? As per Bloomberg, the closely held 4-year-old startup, which has dozens of employees and has raised tens of millions in venture capital, uses a bracelet to measure neuron activity in a subject's arm to determine movement that person is thinking about, even if they aren't physically moving. That neuron activity is then translated into movement on a digital screen. This sounds like the days of Noah. This sounds like when all of the freaky science and all of that was going on before the Lord had to wipe the world out with the flood. We are in the last days, people. Facebook is reportedly paying between $500 million and $1 billion for CTRL Labs, which will bring into its experimental research teams to continue its work on the next phase of digital connection, which could be connecting Facebook directly into your brain, which doesn't sound like a particularly great idea. Facebook has actually been working on similar for some time. Back in 2017, at its F8 developer conference for that year, the social network revealed that it had a 60-person team working on a new system which would enable users to type words on screen simply by thinking of what they wanted to say. They want to get it all up in your mind, because if they can get in your mind, they can control your thoughts. It all goes back to brainwashing, but this is at a whole new level as technology progresses and MK Ultra gets more high tech. The announcement came from Facebook's secretive Building 8 division, which has since been disbanded, but the acquisition of CTRL Labs shows that this is still an active area of investigation. Facebook is still working on tools that would be able to essentially read your thoughts. And I will link the article so that you can read the rest of this. Crazy stuff, right? Real life is crazier than any sci-fi that you can watch or find these days. Crazy. So I'm going to link that article, but I want you all, we have to be vigilant how we spend our time. The only social media that I have is X for news, because that's where you find the real news these days. And I have YouTube for educational purposes. I use it to get the message of God out. But all this other stuff, you can have it. You can have your TikToks. I hope they ban it. I told you, it is compromise.com. There is nothing but abomination. And let me tell you about TikTok and even these shorts that you see. I know I get information through shorts too, but I do a lot of long form content. Shorts are designed, I don't want to insult anyone, but shorts are designed for low value, low thinkers. Because what it does is it dumbs you down. Now, a smart person can get their thoughts out in 60 seconds and they can sell a brand, they can sell an idea. The person that's creating the content in 60 seconds, where they would be on the higher end of intelligence. But those who are consuming it is dumbing you down. Fox.com. You need to be aware. Okay? So while you scrolling all of these TikToks and shorts, limit that, okay? You want to build a stamina where you can actually, I don't want to say endure, but you can listen to long form content. Hey, Swerve, I've got a question for you. Take a listen. You can listen to a sermon, or you can listen to a teaching for more than 45 minutes without, getting antsy in your seat. You want to build the stamina of your mind, okay? And so research says that those who, when I look at my analytics, the people who watch long form content, they are your high value clientele. They have a desire for wisdom and knowledge. They have a higher capacity for intellect, and it shows a lot about the viewer. So shorts bring in a lot of subscribers, but your long form content are your high value clientele. They have the capacity for intellect, for growth. So that's your wisdom key today. I bet you'd never thought about it like that, but hey, we're learning and growing in this channel. And if I know something, I'll highlight it to you. But yeah, you got to know the game or you're going to get played in this game. All right. So let's keep watching Allie, because that's what we're here for.
Then the trafficking and all those things come into play. But you have to have the base and the foundation first.
Okay, let's take a commercial break, because I know that this is heavy and it's a lot of information that she's sharing. So I want to pose this question to you after we had our conversation about social media. So we've been talking about social media briefly, right? And how it can be used as a form of programming. So it led me to the question, which social media platform has the smartest community? I want you to put your comment in the chat and let me know which social media platform you think has the smartest community. Go. All right, are we ready for me to reveal the top platform for the smartest community? Drum roll, it's YouTube. Are you surprised? I'm not. YouTube, you can grow, it's educational, it's information. I can think of so many people that I've learned from on YouTube, so that's not surprising, right? And I've never seen YouTube as actually a social media type platform, but more of an educational, so it makes sense to me. Number 2 is Twitter. Again, not surprised. Twitter, you can find a lot of great information, news sources, especially real news these days is hard to find. So you have a lot of real journalists that have gravitated to X. So again, I am not shocked. Now, one of your most low informed, not so smart groups. I mean, I hate to say it, but this is the ranking that they've placed it. The next rank for not the smartest community, okay? TikTok. Not surprised, okay? Discord, 4chan, I don't even know what that is, and Reddit. And I can definitely see how Reddit would be at the bottom of the food chain. But guess who's not on here? Instagram or Facebook. So that says a lot about that community, right? Is it more vanity? Is it more foolishness? I don't know. You all can tell me what you think about those, because they didn't even make it on the ranks for intellectual community. which is scary, right? You won't find intellectual people that are consuming Facebook at high rates, I guess. I don't know. I know some smart people on Facebook. Interesting. All right, so let's continue with more about Allie.
I've been a party favor at a few parties, and I'm gonna rewind a little bit. After a certain point of being traumatized, after a certain point of realizing that nobody loved me for me and just for what I could do, or whatever the fact that it was, what people thought about me when I was a little kid, I was naive like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So after a certain point, I didn't give a damn who did what. I just wanted to be seen. And I know that a lot of people can say, yeah, there's times where a point in your life where you're just like, I just want somebody to give a damn. I just want somebody to see me, and I just want somebody to love me. Okay? So I was there a lot because I've been abused a lot.
It's important to understand that even though P. Diddy is the one that's in the highlight for this moment and exposure is happening, that these celebrities are not the beginning nor end of this. This thing goes way high, and it goes as low as from the bottom, from local officials to everyday people, neighbors, people you wouldn't think would be involved in such wicked, heinous acts. This is why we have to stay prayed up and vigilant. But I'm so grateful that in this season, exposure is happening so that people's eyes can be awakened to the truth. Because this is a battle for the souls of a nation, in particularly our children. Why do you think that they want to change the identity of children? Why do you think Tim Walz wants to put tampons in the boys' bathroom? Why would that be necessary? Because Satanists like to cause confusion. How many of us know how ripe and how tender a child's mind is? And if they grow up seeing that tampons are in boys' bathroom, it influences their thoughts. If you grow up seeing kids who have changed their gender at 5 and 6, you're corrupting a nation through their minds and their ideologies, what they think is right, because you're calling evil good and good evil. And kids are so tender. Their foundational years are 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you're corrupting them at that age, you are brainwashing a nation, and they know that. This is why believers, you can't stand silent. This is why you cannot have a voice in this game. You have to speak up for the voiceless. They don't know what the long game of all of these crimes against humanity, where it leads to. How can you give a child 5, 6, 7, 8 the right to change their identity, but they can't even drink, they can't even smoke, they can't even drive, but yet you're going to give them the right? As if they know better at such a tender age to do something so horrific to their bodies that they can't change, they can't reverse. It's wicked, you all.
In a room where people promised you the world, at one point you just go numb. So things of me that probably don't make sense, but I was a kid. And all of this situation, everything that we're talking about, everything that I've been talking about, I was under the age of 18. Let's start there. Okay? I was sold a lot in foster care. A lot of stuff happened in my life with the family I was with. Okay. CPS reports go back to 3 months old. I remember 4 years old, and everything took off from there. All right. So never in my life did a lot of the stuff seem wrong until I met this twin of mine. Nothing seemed wrong. I'm telling you the God honest truth to me. And even when I met her, I was just like, it's fine. Seriously, it's fine. This is the way love is. This is the way this is supposed to be. Okay? I'm still trying to find words to what has happened. I'm still trying to find words because every time we do something as far as an affidavit, talk to someone. This takes a lot out of me that I don't think people understand. The nightmares, the flashbacks, the skin crawling, the barely can do one thing without feeling like everything is going to end forever. You want to run. You don't understand.
She's right. There's so many, including myself. We cannot really truly understand all the horrific things that she's been through, but we can share her story, you all, and we can become more aware. It takes so much courage for her to get up on that platform, knowing that there are so many people that want to take her out for just telling her truth. We got to wrap her in prayer, and we've got to not be afraid to share her story and then do something about it. Find a way to bring awareness and to speak up for the voiceless. But many are sounding the alarm. And I thank God for Ali Carter. I thank God for your story. And many people, they're going to be shocked at the celebrities that they have put on such a pedestal, because some of these celebrities are wicked as the days long and have entertained and done some of the most horrific things to the most innocent. But it's coming out because it has to.
Point. I didn't give a damn who did what. I just wanted to be seen. And I know that a lot of people can say, yeah, there's times where a point in your life where you're just like, I just want somebody to give a damn. I just want somebody to see me, and I just want somebody to love me. Okay? So I was there a lot because I've been abused a lot. And after a certain point, I went really numb. Didn't care. A lot of people that were with me called me a traitor because they felt like I just left. I'd be mad at me too, because I stopped giving a shit about anything. I didn't care. It all just.
So please pray for Ali Carter. Don't just watch the video. Cover her in Psalms 91, that the angels of the Lord encamp all around her. That God will give her peace of mind. That God will make her bold as a lion, where she fears no man. The Bible says, fear not who can harm the body, but fear the one who can take the soul and the body. Ali Carter, you are fierce and bold as a lion. May you go forth and do great and mighty things for the kingdom